At least once a year, I like to bring in some of my Kevin's famous chili. The trick is to undercook the onions. Everybody is going to get to know each other in the pot. I'm serious about this stuff.
Ooh, I can cook that. I know Kevin himself put out a recipe for his chili, but I have a few tricks up my sleeves. Making recipes. It's probably the thing I do best. In my opinion, the spices are where chili really comes to life. So let's talk about what I'm using and why. First, ancho chilies. These are dried poblano peppers, and they bring a deep, smoky flavor that you just can't get from regular chili powder. Brown sugar adds a touch of sweetness that will balance out the heat we'll add in later on. Then there's paprika, cumin, and thyme. Classic chili spices, each adding its own layer of flavor. And here are my secret ingredients. Cornmeal and unsweetened cocoa powder. The cornmeal helps thicken the chili, giving it a heartier texture, while the unsweetened cocoa powder adds a surprising depth that will make people wonder what your secret ingredient is. Cocoa in savory dishes is actually more common than you'd think. Ever had a mole sauce? It's really a great addition to any chili. What's your favorite secret ingredient? Drop it in the comments below. We'll pulse everything together into a fine powder. This is the spice base, and trust me, it'll set your chili apart and make you say, I feel God in this chili tonight. Now onto the stovetop. Heat a good amount of canola oil over medium heat. You want to coat the bottom of the pot so everything cooks evenly. Once that's hot, we'll add our tomato paste. This is where we really start to build up our flavors. Tomato paste is concentrated, so the longer it cooks, the more it caramelizes, giving your chili a deep, rich base. After the tomato paste has some time to get nice and dark, we'll add in freshly diced tomatoes. The key here is to cook them down until most of the moisture evaporates. You want them soft and broken down, but still bringing that fresh tomato flavor. Now it's time to add our spice blend. Toss it right into the pot. Next up, chopped poblano and jalapeno peppers. These bring both flavor and heat. The poblanos are mild, but the jalapenos pack a punch, especially if you leave in the seeds. If you're not a fan of too much spice, be sure to deseed them before adding them to your chili. But honestly, a little heat never hurt anyone, right? Let those saute until they start to soften. Get it all stirred up into a nice, thick, saucy paste. It'll make your kitchen smell amazing, and if you're not drooling yet, you will be soon. At this point, we'll add in rinsed kidney beans, sweet corn, creamed corn, and garlic. The kidney beans add protein and texture, while the corn, especially the creamed corn, adds a nice sweetness that balances out the heat from the jalapenos. Pro tip, the creamed corn will also make the chili super thick and creamy without the need for flour or roux. While we stir it all up, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to tell YouTube you want to keep your feed fed with more delicious content from the Starving Chef. Now let's talk onions. According to Kevin, the key is to undercook the onions, so the onions will finish cooking as the chili simmers, absorbing all the flavors around them without losing their bite. Toss them in now and give everything a good stir. Now it's time for the main event, the ground beef. Add it directly into the pot. As it cooks, you want to break it down into fine pieces with a meat spatula. This is not the time for big chunks of beef. This will make the chili smoother and harder to scrub out of an office carpet. Next up, grab a few beers from Poor Richard's. The beer adds a richness that complements the spices and deepens the overall flavor. If you prefer, you can use beef stock instead, but I like the depth that beer brings. Now let the chili simmer for at least an hour and a half, but honestly, the longer the better. This is a run out the clock situation. You can even put it in a crock pot and let it cook overnight. The flavors will develop even more as time goes on, making this a dish that actually tastes better the next day. As someone who spent years in an office environment, eating at your desk is commonplace, but actually enjoying that lunch was an entirely different story. Don't forget your favorite toppings like sour cream, cheddar cheese, and green onion. It'll make lunch a win-win-win. Why say lot word when few word do trick? But this chili is as thick as it is satisfying. That's what she said. What fictional feast should I make next? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this recipe, don't forget to flip that sub button and ring the dinner bell so you can be notified of my latest recipes and foodie adventures that I post every week. Do you ever get hungry? You can find this recipe and many more with ingredient amounts and step-by-step instructions over on thestarvingchefblog.com. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.